Hello, this is Katie, and this will be card number 1 for the Thanksgiving series. I just stopped making Halloween cards, so I think that was 8 of them. But then I took too long to make more, so we're in November, so we will start with Thanksgiving. We're going to be making this card. I actually already made 3 of them and saved the 4th one for this video. And on one of them I added enamel dots. They're kind of a yellowy, like I don't know, a dark yellow. But I don't really like how it looks. I think it actually had enough without them, so I'm going to make it without them. And the pattern paper comes from, these two here came from A Perfect Autumn by Alicia Gordon for Carta Bella. Those are really cute. And then I thought the orange out of this one, I don't think I've ever had any paper from these people before. The orange one in the middle came from that. And I actually got this in a prize pack from Beth at Beth's Scrapbook Room. She's awesome, and I won something randomly, so she sent me that in one of my prize packs. And then the stamp is a thank you stamp out of the Thanksgiving set from Stampin' Up. It has these as well. It's called Day of Gratitude. And there's also this one, which I'll probably be using on another, or the next card. It is on the next card. It's just a really cute set, so I'll use the thank you for that, for the middle. So I'm going to go ahead and start getting the pieces ready. For the pieces in the middle, I have these here because I've already used from the 6x6 paper for the other ones. They'll be about 1 inch wide. So I'll go ahead and cut 1 inch from each of those. Okay, so we have 1 inch of the orange, 1 inch of the leaves, and 1 inch of the stripes. Okay. And then one of the coolest tips I actually ever learned was with a square punch. It's really easy to make the banner flags, the little pointy bottom parts here, if you have a strip of paper. So in here, you just kind of have to put it in the corner and just make sure the point is centered before you punch it, but it just makes it really, really easy to make a little banner end. And just really quick, as long as you center the point. Sometimes they're off center, but sometimes you can't really tell, so then you could just trim it and try again, really. So we'll do the middle of that, and those are taller than the card, so I'll be trimming off the tops as well. Okay, and then for the card base, the bottom edges are going to be rounded, so I have my rounder. This is an EK Success rounder. I actually have 2. That's the bigger one. This is the smaller corner. And I usually use that on small things like tags or a small card, but the bigger one is bigger for a full-size card, which is just a 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. And this actually works out better. I get my cardstock or my white base cardstock from Paper Tray Ink, and sometimes it gets shipped, and it's not really in the shipping, you can tell. The corners are bent a little bit before it even gets shipped to you, which kind of sucks, but some of those ended up, they end up getting cut off here anyway, the little smudged edges when I do things like this, so sometimes I save that paper for the round cards so that I don't have to worry about it. So what I'm going to do is have the orange in the middle to kind of space out the design, the solid color versus these. So I'm going to start with this one first. And it's going to go about, we want like 1/4 inch from both sides. So I'll actually be sticking these 2 down first, and then I can just center the orange one easily. But I'll decide how far down I want it to go, about there. Then I'll hold it, flip it over, and just cut off right at the top where it's going to go. So then I can use my tape runner And then starting, it's just easier sideways for me. Go about 1/4 inch in, straighten it out, and then stick that down. Then I'll do the same thing for the one on the right. You can either eyeball how far down it's going to go, or try and put a piece of paper, maybe straight across, and do it that way. Just to kind of measure where the straight line is. Then we'll hold that down and trim that off. Okay, and then run some tape along it. And these won't necessarily curl up at the end, but I am not putting glue here. So you could curl them with your fingers, just kind of bend them a little bit if you really wanted to. And we'll go in about the same from the right. Keep it straight and then put that down. But you can see it kind of, there's a little shadow. So you can have it curl up a little bit, or you can just leave it. But if you want to have that banner feel, you can kind of pick them up at the end with your fingernail. Then we'll do the middle one. I'll just kind of eyeball how far down that should go. Then we'll trim it through the back. And put the tape runner on the back. I want to make sure it sticks along the top, but I don't need as much going down. Okay, and straighten that one. And since we picked up the others, we can go ahead and flip these up a little bit too. Okay. So then for the, I'll set this aside here, for the other two parts, for the thank you in the middle, I'll use the Stampin' Up! Framelits Labels collection. That's that number there. And it comes with, they're all the same shape, but it comes with different sizes. I think I need to get a magnet sheet set up for this. But I used the two smallest ones. So we will pull out the Big Shot. And we're going to cut the bigger one out of the brown. So we'll roll that through. So we've got the bottom piece. And then the smaller piece out of the white. So it makes the camera a little shaky. So then in here, I'm going to use the VersaFine Onyx Black, which I've used a lot, just for better, clearer sentiments, really. It's not good for coloring, because it doesn't dry like the Memento ink. And then we want to try and get this straight on here. That looks good. We'll zoom in a little bit. Sorry, this might be shaky for a second. Zoom in a little bit for the rest of the card. Just want to let that ink dry before you try touching it or doing anything with it, just because it's a very inky ink, I guess you could say. So I'll run my tape runner just in 3 lines across the back here. Enough to stick that, and we'll just try and keep it centered. I usually try and line up the points. Try and see the straight line through the points, and then just leave them about the same amount of space. Okay. So then I want to raise this one up, so I'm going to put foam tape on the back of that. And I can give it about 3 lines of foam tape. Okay, and then on the card, center that in the middle of the orange and about the middle of the card. And then for the last part, we're going to add that orange bow. So I'll set the card aside for now and just kind of wheel out some of the ribbon here. And this part can take a little bit of practice. It's still hard to get them somewhat straight for me. But I kind of just create a little loop behind, grab the rest of the ribbon that's tied to the rest of the roll there, and just kind of tie a bow, just like you'd tie a shoe. So you just kind of control it while you're tying it the whole time. And if you need to start over, you can too. It's just hard to keep it straight. And then you can pull the ends and make the bow smaller or longer. With this one, it's really easy to kind of stretch out the ribbon and make it look really bad. So I try not to fix the bow too many times, because once it's been pulled on, it's gonna not look very good out of the knot. So that's good there. I will try and angle that up a little bit, and then angle that piece. Okay. Alright, so I have a little bow to stick on top. And then I will be using the Zots. I'll just use a small Zot to put on the back. So I'll use the bow to pick up a Zot off of this sheet. You might not be able to see them here, but I picked up one of the little glue dots, so it's there on the back. Maybe that'll focus there. Maybe not. There, you can see a little glue dot on the back there. So then I'll just find a place on the orange cardstock itself, right behind, just kind of tuck it in behind at the top, right there. And then you can kind of pull the bow part down, or the little strings down there. And there you go. And then if you wanted to add any gems here, again, I had the yellow ones on this one. I just didn't like how it looked. That's why I only did it to one of them, just to see. But I think it really does have enough just like this. So pretty easy card. You can use really any autumn pattern paper. Maybe get some browns in there, and then whatever color ribbon you have, like yellow or orange, or maybe even a pretty brown or maroon as well. There's some maroon in this color too, which seems to be an autumn color. So there you go. And I will also be uploading another Thanksgiving card tonight to kind of just catch up and start off with too. So you'll see another one. Thanks. Bye.